Okay, let's quickly go over the finale of Euphoria and a bit of the whole season as a whole. That would be season 3 of Euphoria. Pray to God that it is the final season of Euphoria, even though they called the last episode the season finale. I think that's maybe to keep the door open in the future. Not sure how, but let's again hope that it is the series finale in total. So when it comes to Euphoria, I have been watching since the very beginning. I thought the first season was just something very different I've ever seen. I did back in the day, have some friends who struggled with the things some of these characters struggled with. Now, of course, it's exaggerated on the show, but I thought the style with the music from Labyrinth was just something really cool and something we've never seen before. Season 2 maybe not as good as season 1, but still something I enjoyed seeing quite a bit. Of course, a lot of things happen with these shows when there is a big break between seasons. I think season 2, I don't remember how long that came out, 2021 maybe. And with all these years later, all these cast members have really shot up into stardom. Of course, with Jacob Elordi, Sydney Sweeney, Zendaya becoming even more famous. Them coming back was a surprise for me. Maybe they just loaded the dump truck, or maybe it was just, of course, a contract that they all had to fulfill. Now we're going to go by kind of the characters here with the finale and kind of what they did with these characters as we move forward, because this season was a completely different season. Sam Levingson, of course, in between the show to The Idol, and that was absolutely terrible. So a lot of red flags going into this final season, hopefully, of Euphoria. And it feels like he took more from The Idol and brought it into here without having much more to say, as these characters are more adult. And he really tried to make his own Tarantino-style show here. I mean, it's no surprise to anyone that the first batch of episodes of season 3 were just not good, all over the place. Jacob Elordi's character, he's not the same Nate as he was in the previous seasons. In the previous seasons, he was a true villain. He was someone who really messed with people's heads, and he was quite clever the way he did it, and I found the writing to be very unique with his character as well, especially with dealing with his dad's trauma and all that stuff with Nate's character. But of course, in this season, it was pretty obvious he didn't have much time to film. He wasn't with any of the other castmates. Whenever he was in the show, it felt like it was just in one room or outside in one scene. And he was just running away from the guys he borrowed money from, getting beat up the whole time, not acting at all like Nate from the previous seasons. And then he ends up getting killed, which, yes, it was a really intense scene when he got killed, but you just end up thinking, what was the point of this character at all throughout this whole season? And he's probably really happy to not have to return to the show. Then we're going to go off to Zendaya in the final episode here. Now, we got spoilers going all over the place here, but her character does not make it. She makes it about halfway through the final episode. There was a lot of hints going on throughout the season, specifically the last final episodes with her and Cole Domingo's character, that she was not going to make it. And I mean, I'm not sure. I've looked online to see what people think. There's two sides of this here. One side of it being we wanted a happier ending for Rue. We saw what she went through for the first 2 seasons. You wanted to see someone who was an addict make it out. But then on the other side of it, I do really like what they did with her character at the end. It does kind of make sense. There's so many addicts out there that don't make it. They become sober, they go back to drugs or wherever it may be, and they don't make it out alive after that. Now, I know it wasn't really her doing because it was Alamo who gave her the pills, but he knew she was going to take them, and he laced them, and she passes away. Now, aside from her passing away, the best scene of the whole season easily was when she was having the flashbacks in her head and kind of coming to peace with certain situations. And I thought Rue's acting was incredible as well, going back to her old neighborhood and her house. I didn't know what was going on at first. And when she saw the TV that Fez escaped, I was about to lose my mind. I was about to be like, why are we doing this? I thought it was stupid enough that they kept bringing up his name in the show and doing these fake phone calls with him. And then when it hit me that she was going through this overdose, it was pretty clear what was happening, having all these visions of people that she was really close to in life. And actually was the first time I feel like the whole season where it really hit me in the emotions. And then after that, Cole Domingo's character, terrific acting from him. And I really liked the speech he gave about how fentanyl, of course, is destroying so many lives, kind of signifying that with what we live in today's world. Then after that, the second half of the episode happens where we get just nods to Tarantino all over the place. Cole Domingo turns into a Western Django John Wick. And we got the scene in, of course, the bar where he goes after Alamo in his old military outfit. And we have these moments where they're trying to hype up tension. We even have the Inglourious Basterds moment where he's pointing the gun at Marshawn Lynch's crotch. Just really on the nose stuff when it comes to Tarantino. The difference is here, I just didn't feel the tension for some reason. In a Tarantino movie, just every single word cuts with tension. It didn't work as much here. And I was also confused because this guy called Domingo, who really, found God and everything, and suddenly now he's coming to massacre a whole bar, standing in the middle of the room and doesn't get shot or anything. I guess they had that clever twist where there's actually no bullets inside of Alamo's gun. He ends up getting shot and killed. And then we have, another beautiful moment at the end where he visits that one family that Rue stayed with for a little bit, and they have a good speech there, kind of having to find God, which is a big theme into this season. Sydney Sweeney's character, who is an OnlyFans model, I hated everything about her character this whole season. And I guess the whole point of it, in the last scene, it shows she's alone in the mansion, that if you live that life, you're going to end up alone. I guess that's what the theme of all of that was, but I just could not stand any of the Sydney Sweeney stuff throughout this season, and we'll just, leave it at that. We have Hunter Schafer, who plays Jules. Zero reason for her to even be in this season. She didn't do anything. She was in an apartment the whole time. It's obvious that's the only place that she had maybe time to film. I guess it's kind of heartfelt, scene when she is painting Rue at the end, but why did she even return? It just felt like they kind of forced her into the show. Matt Apatow was kind of annoying at points. I did like her speech she gave in the finale, with reading the Bible. Again, they're really pushing this, trying to find a better way to better yourself through Christianity in the show, or through God, I guess, is what Sam Levinson is going for. But I mean, it's kind of hypocritical because if, at one end, he's like, hey, be good, find God, read the Bible. But on the other end, he's like, look at these ass and titties for 7 whole episodes. Being all over the place, overall, this season is bad. And the finale is like an hour, 40 minutes long. It's a whole Euphoria feature film. But there was, I think, the best moments of the whole season, and really reminded you of what made the show beautiful in the first 2 seasons. Cole Domingo's acting is absolutely terrific. So when we lean into the stuff about what addiction can do to family, how it really hurts people and how it really kills people's youth, I thought that stuff was really beautifully done. And again, going back to Rue's death, or Zendaya, not of course going to be back in the show, and some people might not be happy with her ending. I think it kind of showed the realism in what can happen in someone's life when they're an addict and they're going to end up always just going back to the drugs. So overall, please don't make another season of this. It was really hard to get through the season. I would just hate watching every single Saturday night. This episode did have moments of brilliance in it. I'll go back also to the intro to the episode. I thought was really well filmed with the guy on the horse chasing Rue and all that stuff. So really did enjoy some of that. The writing the whole season doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. But that is my thoughts on Euphoria, the finale. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments.